the odds are, like you walking down the street in New York City, at some point you passed a serial killer.
Oh,
For sure.
All right, here we are. Should we address the elephant in the room?
Who's the elephant?
What's that?
Not nice.
Elvis has been sick.
Yeah.
There.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, the elephant. Oh, you didn't know?
No,
No,
I
he
just.
hurt himself.
Oh man, I just smashed my finger between my chair and the counter. Fuck.
Oh, that's the worst.
I
Is
know
it broken?
Froggy's-
Is it
Froggy's
broken?
sick.
Can you move it? Can
Yeah,
you
no,
move
it's
it?
right at the thumb. It's right at the fingernail. This is totally gonna turn
Oh,
black.
you're gonna lose that nail.
Oh, there goes the
You
nail.
don't want me to show you my toenail?
Not really.
Okay.
Are we all talking about ailments?
Well, I dropped an iPad on my toe. My toenail is black
Oh,
right
wow.
now.
Okay.
It is.
Come off, that
It's
means.
disgusting.
When it
I
starts
can't even
growing,
look at my.
it's gonna fall off.
Yeah, it'll fall off.
Wait, we were at Jingle Ball one year, okay, and I had a nail that had cracked off, and it was almost off, okay, and I taped it up for
Yeah.
Jingle Ball, and underneath was like, the skin, like
Yeah.
whatever's underneath your nail,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I hit it on something when we were running backstage. That shit flew off. The pain was so bad, and it looked great. Let me
Have you
tell
guys ever had ingrown
Fantastic.
toenails?
Yes.
No.
Yeah, of course.
So being a diabetic, I have to watch my feet. So I would get them so bad that the side of my foot would start just expanding, and then they had to cut it open. And I'm trying to get so descriptive where Scotty pukes right now.
I'm not listening to you.
So they literally had to take the side of my toe and just flap it open and then cut down. The toe is like almost like down to my
man.
knuckle of my toe.
Wait, have they ever? So my kids play soccer, so you know, Gandhi. You get soccer feet.
No.
So they get ingrown toenails.
Yep.
Spencer's was so bad they had to actually like numb his toe and cut half of his
That-
toenail.
Yeah.
So
It's bad.
Oh,
so
crazy!
did they kill the toenail?
Yeah, they killed the
Yeah,
toenail.
they killed my toenails too, where it stops growing. It's funny how they could just
So
put something
nice.
like
You
some
know,
liquid in there.
Just inject you.
I
Yeah.
bought my girlfriend a speaker system for Christmas last year, and the subwoofer is very, very heavy. She went to go lift it and move it, dropped it on her toe. Oh my God. Her thumb toe turned black. Half of it was gone. It just started. I said, the doctor said it may never go back again.
Please tell me you weren't sitting on the couch while she was doing this.
I wasn't even there.
Was she like, fuck you and your stupid Christmas present?
Yeah, she was. I don't know. Anyway, the doctor, not that he didn't lie, but he had it wrong. The toe nail grew back, but it took about 8 months.
Yeah, it takes a
They
long
always
time.
give you the
Danielle,
worst case scenario.
Oh,
you
yeah.
remember when we were at Jingle Ball in Miami and Lisa tripped on one of those things that has the cables all running through it, and she broke her toe. She looked down, and her second toe next to her big toe, the one right next to it, was pointed sideways.
Yeah.
I was like,
But the show
that's a
must go
problem.
on,
Always.
Froggy.
I was petting a dog that somebody had tied up outside my building. I love to do that.
Yeah.
And I don't know how it happened, but my finger got caught up in its collar and it snapped my nail off.
Oh.
But it did it down into the thumb, and I don't leave it hanging. I'll just rip it off.
Ah!
So I stood up and there was blood, and Brandon, my boyfriend, he thought the dog bit me, and he was like, oh my God, the dog bit you. And then he looks at my finger. He started heaving. He was like, "Ugh, ugh, oh my God. I'm like, you are of no use.
That's like Scotty.
can handle-
That's what
Of
Scotty
no
will do.
use.
If Scotty sees blood, he starts to blah, blah. I'm like, Scotty's of no
I
help.
can handle like the exposed organs, all his shit, like amputated limbs. But if you involve a fingernail, I
Brandon
can't
fought
do
for
it.
our country.
Oh,
He fought for our country.
You can't take my
I
fingernail.
can't.
The bad guys only had to show a fingernail. And he was,
A fingernail. Like I was watching some movie where they had POWs and they were putting razor blades under their fingernails. I'm like,
I'm
whoa.
talking. I will tell all the secrets.
Oh my
Oh God! If you like even get a pin close to my fingernail, I'm like, I'll tell you everything.
Oh.
Fucking social security number, everything.
So this is sort of related, not related. You live in the Westchester area,
Yeah.
right? There was a serial killer, a horrific serial killer way back in the day. Have you heard of Albert Fish?
No.
Oh my God. Nate,
Shall I
you have
Google?
to, this guy
Albert
was like,
or Al?
What did he do?
Albert
What did he
Fish.
do?
he
Tell us more.
killed and ate children.
Oh.
And he would literally like lure them and do all kinds of stuff. He would cook the flesh with potatoes and all kinds of stuff. It was crazy. I was watching the documentary the other day on whatever it was on. I don't even know. And it's very like out of Salem, Massachusetts, where whatever they did, it seems like it was done in the 70s. But they really focused on the cooking of the flesh. for so long that it started making me gag. I was like, "Bleh." Not that it's not gross in general, but it was so gross, and they just really zoomed in on it and left it there. This guy was in like the 30s. All of this happened, but it's disgusting, Nate. And all I could think about the whole time, I'm like, Nate's neighborhood.
Oh,
You know,
Are you seeing it?
yeah.
Yeah.
He was here's his title: serial killer, rapist, child molester, and cannibal.
Oh my
He
god.
did all the things.
Oh,
Everything.
And he was an old man. There's a lot of stuff that I need to do some more research, but if you are into serial killer things, this one really
Okay.
pushed the
Oh
limits.
wow!
Oh,
His
man.
nickname was the Boogeyman. Maybe that's where it
Yes.
originally came from.
Oh.
Creepy,
Ugh.
creepy. But it's your neighborhood, Nate.
All right,
Thanks.
Nate, I need to apologize to you. 5 minutes ago, before I smashed my finger into the counter, you were starting to say Elvis had been sick.
That's all.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
He has a bad cold.
He's got a
Probably be
bad
back
cold. He'll
tomorrow,
probably be
maybe?
back tomorrow.
Probably.
He sounds awful. But yeah, he's got a very sore throat, and he'll be fine. You know, he's doing fine now. But oh, sorry, you derailed me with the thing. Now I'm reading about this guy.
Oh,
Oh
fish.
God.
so
Crazy.
watching Dahmer, I had no idea that John Wayne Gacy was pretty much influenced by Dahmer.
Really?
Other way around.
Dahmer was influenced by John Wayne Gacy.
Yeah. John
was
Wayne
here
Gacy was
first,
before.
yeah.
Oh yeah, John Wayne Gacy wasn't.
He was
But
first.
he was watching, or maybe Dahmer was watching John Wayne Gacy while he
Yes.
was in prison.
The day that John Wayne Gacy died was the day that Jeffrey Dahmer got baptized or christened or whatever it was. That was the
Oh,
day.
wow. that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
But the way they show it in Netflix is that Dahmer is in jail watching someone get arrested for the crimes very similar to what he committed.
You know, like a lot of did you guys watch what was that Netflix show Manhunter? Did you guys watch that? It was a fictional thing about the FBI and them hunting down all these serial killers and interviewing them to figure out
Like real ones?
not real ones,
Okay.
but they had people play them, right? And they
okay.
were interviewing them to kind of get like a dossier on why serial killers did what they did.
You should have been
But I
on that
think it
show,
would-
Nate, playing a serial killer. Go ahead.
Very funny, very funny. But I think a lot of those 70s and 80s serial killers were like copycat people. Like they saw
Oh, wow.
all these stories about people doing this shit, and they're like, well, I could do it too. And there's probably a lot out there that never got
So
caught.
many, I mean, like with John Wayne Gacy, the amount of kids that he kidnapped
Ridiculous.
and killed and hid and whatever, I don't think you would be able to get away with that now. But
You
in
would
all
think.
of those, they're like, oh well, no one noticed.
Well, yeah, like
they just disappeared.
the
Like
one,
what?
the
Oh
one
my
they showed on Dahmer, they were like reenacting. He was like, "Hey, so you're looking for a job? Like, first off, if I have to go into a dude's house and sit down in his kitchen table and drink a beer to talk about a potential job, that's problem number one."
Yeah, but it was like the 70s. That's what they did. The 70s and 80s. It wasn't weird to them.
That's problem
This
number
Albert
one.
Fish guy, creepy, who ate the kids and killed them, he was at someone's house interviewing for a job. Basically, he was interviewing the son, saw the daughter, decided he liked her, asked the parents, can I take her to my niece's birthday party? And the parents were like, sure. He took the kid, killed her, and ate her. Yeah.
Wow.
Spoiler alert.
That
Well,
is
let me ask you a
Crazy,
question.
but it was just a different time. People didn't think about.
You know,
Yeah, Frog?
I read something that it was, I don't even know what site it was on or where it was, but it was about serial killers in general, you never find out how many people they really kill because if you kill somebody and nobody reports them dead, then you never get caught. Like, for example, if you were to kill a homeless person that they don't
Yeah.
have any contact with family or they don't have any contact and nobody reports them, that murder goes unreported and uninvestigated. So a lot of serial killers kill a lot of people that it's never known what their total count is.
Yeah, same with like prostitutes and stuff like that because they're generally from families
Yeah.
or they don't have any family,
Right.
right?
Right,
So
they
they're
don't
just
talk to
all
them.
alone out there.
That's why when Jack the Ripper was alive, they think they know how many, but I don't think they really do.
I
And
wonder
then
if the-
imagine all the serial killers we don't even know exist.
Yeah.
I wonder if the FBI tried to do like what they did with like Catch Me If You Can, where they hired him to be a part of the FBI. If they ever tried to hire a serial killer,
That's
think they
Manhunter.
do.
They
Yeah.
interview all these people and they try and have them help figure out why serial killers are killing and,
Yeah.
and, like
Oh, so, all
what's- you should watch it. It kind of went downhill season 2, but season 1's amazing.
Really?
Let's
really
stop.
good.
All right, season 1, I'm done. Nate said no more. I gotta go.
Yeah, and it's one of these shows where I don't think they're going to renew it for season 3, although it was quite good. But
Mindhunter?
Mindhunter, yes, I think that's it. Because they interview all of these serial killers
Okay.
and just try and figure out what makes them tick and help them solve other cases of serial killers. You know, the odds are, like you walking down the street in New York City, at some point you passed a serial killer.
Oh, I'm
For sure. Without a doubt.
Oh, I think about that all the time. If I'm like, how many of these people are criminals here? As I'm walking down a crowded New York street,
Yeah.
but how many people here have murdered somebody?
Right.
Yeah.
See, I'm convinced
That's
that there
freaking
are
crazy.
way more women serial killers out
Oh,
there.
for sure.
We're just better at it, and we can get away with it because we know how to keep the secrets,
right,
and nobody would ever suspect
got
that I
chills.
would
Well,
kill
like
20 people.
those lists of nurses that just kill people in the hospital,
Right.
hundreds and hundreds of
Yep,
people,
yep.
and those are only the ones we know about.
Yep.
I remember we were in Salem and we were walking around and it was so crowded and people were dressed like Freddy Krueger and whatever. I just kept thinking like, any of these people could be an actual murderer or want to murder, and one of those knives could be a real knife, not a prop knife. Like, how is this
Yeah.
controlled? This is
It's
not
not.
controlled.
Not.
I'm
That's
like,
why I don't
this
fucks
is
with
insane.
Halloween.
Especially on Halloween, if anything were to happen, you'd be like, "Oh, it's a part of the show."
Yeah.
Right,
we're in
that's what you would
Salem, no
think. You're like,
problem.
oh, wow, that's realistic.
Mhm.
Whoa.
Speaking of part of the show, kind of unrelated, but there was this comedian that part of his bit, his routine was he had a heart attack on stage. I can't remember the guy's name, but he was doing his show one day and he actually had a heart attack on stage, and everybody thought it was part of the act. He ends up dying on stage because people are. I can't remember
Is
the
this
name of the guy.
real?
This is
This is a
100%
true
real.
story?
I'll get his name.
What?
Heart attack on stage.
Cooper, Tommy Cooper.
Yes, that's it. He because that was part of his routine is he pretended to
Damn.
have a heart attack,
Oh my god.
and then he
Was it
actually
Rick
had one.
Fox?
Oh, you're joining us now.
Well, I turned off after you guys were talking about gross stuff.
No, it was Tommy Cooper.
Tommy Cooper.
You remember Sanford and Son? It's
I'm
the-
coming, Elizabeth. I'm coming.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Wow.
but yeah,
Thanks,
no, he
Scotty.
actually had that happen.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and
So
people
then
just
my
watched
nose
it
was
and laughed.
bleeding so much, and then all this gushing of blood just came out of my nose, and
There he goes.
And that's how we lose Scotty B.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway,
Now I want to read about this guy.
yeah,
It
enjoy
says
your
that you died on live
yeah
television.
on live TV.
he's holding like the picture on Google. He's holding a cigar, but it looks like one of those cartoon cigars where like you light it and you blow up.
Yeah, I think that was the kind of comedian he was.
Oh,
yeah.
jeez.
Anyway,
Scotty, are you back now? No.
Scotty!
Nope.
Nope.
Come
What
on.
do we-
Are you back now?
I could hear you through the soundproof door yelling for me.
Should we play Scary's game now? He found his books.
Oh, which one do you want to play?
I don't know.
Which one didn't you throw away?
I threw.
He found a bunch of would
Scary
you
had a
rather
lot
books.
of show prep, as he called it, under the counter, which he hadn't used in 10 years of being here.
Right.
Yeah, when was the last time you think you touched that?
20 years ago.
20 years ago.
Oh
he
my
says.
goodness.
Some absolutely absurd dilemmas to ponder.
All right, give us one or two because I think we're running out of time.
All right. Would you rather belch the sound of a gong or sneeze the sound of a bowling strike
What?
What?
for
See,
the
these
rest
are-
of your life?
For the rest.
Wait, you're
That's a
keeping
dumb
this
one.
book?
I'd rather sneeze the sound of a bowling strike.
That's not even a good one.
Would you rather vomit marbles or sweat cheese?
Vomit
marbles.
marbles.
That'd be a really cool
I don't
party
know.
trick.
That would
yeah.
hurt. That would hurt.
That
a
would
lot.
But
hurt.
sweating
Your
cheese,
teeth
you're
would be
gonna
all
smell
fucked
like
up.
nasty.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Hold on, let's see.
Your
some
teeth
of
would be
these.
broken if you're
You
vomiting
sweat
marbles.
cheese, you'd smell every time you went somewhere.
It
wrote
depends
this
on what
book?
kind of cheese.
Yeah, give me some good brie. I mean,
Some
No.
might smell like
Oh.
No
Parmesan.
cheese smells good. There's not one good smelling cheese.
Okay, all right,
but
all
it
right.
tastes so good.
But
If you
Munda
smelled like
cheese.
cheese long enough, you'd vomit marbles and you'd do both. 'Cause that shit stinks.
All right, one more, Scary. You're really digging
These are all
through that.
terrible. Whoever made
Would
this
you
book.
rather urinate through your nose or smell things with your genitalia?
Smell with my
Smell with
tongue.
my,
Yeah.
smell with my dinger for sure.
Hey,
No.
that pizza smells great.
What are you gonna do when you go to a candle store? Pull your cock out to smell the candles? I mean, that's weird.
then you put your cock in things.
Check out my
Absolutely.
perfume. Hang on. Let me put my balls to your neck.
Spray that on my
Imagine the
dinger.
perfume counter.
I just think it's much easier to go to a urinal and piss out of your nose.
All right, so we're gonna keep the book.
I'd like that.
All right, keep the book. All right, and
I got a lot more where that came from.
that's your podcast for the day. Bye,
Bye.
everybody.